morning, I'm Charlie Frost. The former Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, is in custody in a detention center in New York after his dramatic capture by US Special Forces from his home in Caracas yesterday. The toppled leader has been charged with drug trafficking and terrorism and is due to make his first court appearance as soon as tomorrow. Meanwhile, President Trump claims he'll run the country until it transitions to a new government. Here's David Harper.
In 24 hours, Nicolas Maduro has gone from the Venezuelan capital to American custody aboard a military aircraft carrier to a detention facility in New York. He now awaits trial on 4 charges relating to drug trafficking and weapons. His wife and son are also being charged. But with President Maduro now out of the country, who is in control? President Trump had one answer to that yesterday.
So who's in power right now?
Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly, but we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of.
In Venezuela, though, the Vice President, Delcy Rodriguez, has been declared acting president, but insists that Maduro is still in power.
Del presidente Nicolás Maduro.
We demand the immediate release of President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. Nicolás Maduro is the only legitimate president of Venezuela.
And Venezuelans have seen little evidence of Trump's plan.
¿Qué quiere decir él con eso?
What does he mean by that? Well, I don't know what he means. What kind of control will he have? How will he have control? Where are the people who are going to control that? I think we're all in the same position, waiting to find out what the truth is.
Venezuela's ally Cuba, along with nations like China and Russia, have condemned the operation. Others, like Canada, have welcomed it as an opportunity for freedom and democracy. Sir Keir Starmer says he wants to first establish the facts, and some of President Trump's political opponents are questioning his motives.
I think the easiest way to sum up Trump's goal is he wants the oil. He wants U.S. oil companies to have greater control over Venezuelan oil. Now, there's all manner of problems with that. To begin with, what's the infrastructure like to even get after that? And also, what's the legality of the U.S. asserting that level of control? But he hasn't seemed to give much thought to what comes next.
The president might see this as a decisive moment that will redirect the future for Venezuela. But in reality, that change may still be a long way off. David Harper, ITV News.
The bodies of 16 more victims of a bar fire in a Swiss ski resort on New Year's Eve have been identified by police. The youngest is a Swiss girl aged 14, with 9 aged under 18. It brings the number of victims identified to 24. Investigators say the fire, which killed at least 40 people and injured more than 100 others, was likely caused by sparklers in champagne bottles being carried too close to the ceiling. British and French forces have carried out a joint airstrike on an underground facility in Syria, which they say belonged to the Islamic State group. RAF Typhoons bombed access tunnels to the site, located in the mountains north of the ancient city of Palmyra. The Ministry of Defence said it was most likely being used to store weapons and explosives. A crackdown on advertising for unhealthy food comes into full effect tomorrow in a bid to tackle childhood obesity. The ban prevents ads for less healthy food and drink that's high in fat, salt and sugar appearing on TV between 5:30 in the morning and 9 o'clock at night and being advertised online at any time. The man who disarmed one of the gunmen in last month's Bondi Beach terror attack has received a standing ovation as the final test of the Ashes got underway. Ahmed Al Ahmed took part in the tribute for the 15 victims at the Sydney Cricket Ground, alongside first responders and 14-year-old Haya Dadon, who was shot in the leg as she shielded 2 other children. And British teenage sensation Luke Littler has won the World Darts Championship for the 2nd year running.
To win the World Darts Championship!
If you missed it last night, this was the moment the 18-year-old beat Dutchman Guyan van Veen 7 sets to 1, becoming only the 4th player in the history of the competition to win back-to-back titles. Well, congratulations, Luke. That's it for the moment. Have a good morning. Goodbye.